Once upon a time, in a land where creatures spoke and wisdom was often hard-won, lived a mighty lion. This lion was not just mighty, he was also terribly, terribly hungry. His stomach rumbled like distant thunder, and his patience wore thin. He summoned his most cunning subject, a fox known for his sharp wits and even sharper tongue. "Fox," roared the lion, his voice shaking the very leaves on the trees, "my hunger is a beast within me. You must find me a meal, and quickly." The fox, whose name was Reynard, bowed low, his tail sweeping the dust. He knew the lion's hunger was no trifling matter. "Your Majesty," he said, his voice smooth as silk, "I shall endeavor to find you the finest feast." But the lion was not in a mood for pleasantries. "Fail me, Reynard," he growled, "and you shall be my meal instead. Do you understand?" Reynard understood perfectly. His life hung by a thread, and that thread was tied to a very hungry lion. Reynard scurried away, his mind racing. He needed a creature large enough to satisfy the lion, yet foolish enough to be tricked. His gaze fell upon a donkey, grazing peacefully in a sun-drenched meadow. The donkey was known for his simple nature and his love of flattery. Reynard approached the donkey with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Greetings, noble friend," he began, his voice dripping with false admiration. The donkey, surprised by such a grand address, lifted his head. "I bring you news of great importance," Reynard continued, lowering his voice conspiratorially. "The animals of this land have decided it is time for a new king. And they have chosen you, my dear donkey, for this most esteemed position." The donkey's ears perked up. A king? Him? He had always been told he was just a humble beast of burden. A king, he brayed, his heart swelling with pride. "But why me?" "Your strength, your steadfastness, your unique bray," Reynard declared, inventing virtues on the spot. "All the signs point to you. The lion himself awaits your arrival to crown you. Come, let us go to him now." The donkey, completely taken in by the promise of royalty, eagerly followed the cunning fox towards the lion's den. As the unsuspecting donkey approached the lion's lair, the hungry king sprang forth. The lion, seeing his meal delivered, attacked with a ferocious roar. He bit off the donkey's ears in his eagerness, a swift, painful snap. The donkey, startled and terrified, let out a loud bray of pain and bolted. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him, leaving the fox and the bewildered lion behind. The lion turned to Reynard, a frustrated snarl on his face. "Your meal escaped, fox," he roared. Reynard, ever quick-witted, merely smiled. "Patience, your Majesty," he said calmly. "He is merely preparing for his coronation. I shall bring him back." He then set off after the fleeing donkey. He found the donkey trembling behind a bush, his ears bleeding. "Oh, Reynard," the donkey whimpered, "the king attacked me. He bit off my ears." Reynard put on a look of profound understanding. "Ah, my dear king," he sighed dramatically, "that was not an attack at all." "It wasn't?" asked the donkey, confused. "No, indeed," Reynard explained, his voice full of mock reverence. "That was the royal crowning ceremony. The lion, in his wisdom, removed your ears to signify your new crown. It is a symbol of your elevated status, a sign that you are now truly above all others." The donkey, simple-minded and eager to believe, looked at his bleeding head. "A crown," he mused. "So I am truly king?" "Indeed," Reynard affirmed. "Now, come, the king awaits your return to complete the ceremony." And so, the brainless donkey, convinced his injuries were a mark of honor, followed the fox back to the lion. The donkey, still believing himself destined for a throne, approached the lion's den once more. The lion, still ravenous, attacked again. This time, he bit off the donkey's tail, a swift, powerful snap. Again, the donkey cried out in pain and fled, leaving a trail of dust and confusion. The lion roared in frustration. "This meal is proving most difficult, fox," he grumbled. "He keeps running away." Reynard, unfazed, merely bowed. "A king must be tested, your majesty," he said smoothly. "I shall retrieve him again." He found the donkey hiding once more, his tail now missing, a fresh wound bleeding. "Reynard," the donkey wailed, "the king attacked me again. He bit off my tail." Reynard shook his head with a knowing look. "My dear king," he said, "that was merely the second part of your royal preparation." "The second part?" the donkey asked, his eyes wide. "Yes," Reynard explained patiently. "A king must sit comfortably on his throne, must he not? Your tail, you see, would have been most inconvenient. The lion, in his infinite wisdom, removed it so you may sit perfectly upon your royal seat without hindrance." The donkey pondered this. "So, no tail means I can sit better on my throne?" he asked. "Precisely," Reynard declared. "Now, come, the king is ready to complete your coronation." And so, the gullible donkey, convinced his missing tail was a royal convenience, followed the fox back to the lion. For the third time, the fox convinced the donkey to return to the lion. The donkey, now missing both ears and a tail, still believed he was on his way to becoming king. He walked with a strange, proud gait, imagining his future throne. This time, the lion did not hesitate. With a final, powerful pounce, the lion killed the donkey. The long-awaited meal was finally secured. The lion let out a satisfied roar, his hunger at last appeased. Reynard watched, a flicker of something unreadable in his eyes. His life was safe, for now. The donkey, poor foolish creature, had paid the ultimate price for his vanity and lack of sense. The lion, full and content, turned to Reynard. "Fox," he commanded, "prepare my meal. But be sure to bring me the choicest parts, the brain, the lungs, the liver, and the heart. I wish to savor them." Reynard bowed and set about his task. He carefully prepared the donkey's carcass, separating the requested organs. But as he worked, a mischievous thought entered his cunning mind. He looked at the donkey's brain, then at the lion, who was now dozing contentedly. Quick as a flash, Reynard devoured the donkey's brain himself. It was a small, quick bite, gone in an instant. He then presented the remaining organs to the lion, the lungs, the liver, and the heart. The lion, rousing from his nap, inspected the offering. He counted the organs. "Fox," he rumbled, his eyes narrowing, "where is the brain? I specifically asked for the brain." Reynard, without missing a beat, looked the lion directly in the eye. "Your Majesty," he said, his voice calm and sincere, "I assure you, there was no brain to be found in this donkey." The lion blinked, confused. "No brain? How can that be?" Reynard sighed dramatically. "Think, Your Majesty," he explained, "would any creature with a brain, even a tiny one, return to the very place where it was attacked not once, but twice? Would it believe that losing its ears was a crown, or that losing its tail was for comfortable seating?" The lion pondered this. He remembered the donkey's repeated, foolish returns. He remembered the strange, proud look on its face even after being injured. A slow understanding dawned on him. "You are right, Reynard," the lion finally conceded, nodding his great head. "No creature with a brain would be so utterly foolish. This donkey truly must have been brainless." And so, the fox, with his final, clever lie, not only saved himself from punishment but also enjoyed a secret, forbidden snack. And so, children, storytellers, and wise parents, this fable teaches us many things. It teaches us that flattery can be a dangerous trap, especially for those who are too eager to believe in their own imagined greatness. It shows us that a lack of critical thinking can lead to dire consequences, even when the signs of danger are clear. It reminds us that true wisdom lies not in believing every sweet word, but in observing actions and understanding consequences. And perhaps, most importantly, it teaches us that even the most cunning plans can be justified with a clever enough explanation, especially when dealing with those who lack the sense to question. So, always use your own brain, for it is the most valuable part of you.